everyone. This is Evie Jane. Thank you so much for coming to another episode of Evie Unbound. Today, I have this amazing woman that started something that has such a huge impact on me, meditation, as everybody know. And she started like a dry bar. That's how I would say it. But obviously, she's going to explain why her concept to me is like a short meditation place for dry bar for meditation. I think that's the way to put it. A dry bar for meditation, because literally she have classes, different kind of classes, meditation, breath work, sound bath, Reiki energy healing. She'll also have like special workshop, ecstatic dance, that's another one. Yoga. I mean, obviously I can list all of this without even looking at my note. It's because I'm a biggest fan. So I'm going to welcome her, and she's also a girlfriend now, Suze. So Suze, thank you so much to come on the show. And I'm not going to say your last name because I have a hard time pronouncing your last name. I don't want to say anything. Can you please tell our audience your last name?
Suze Yalof Schwartz.
See, it sounds so much easier when you say it, but it's so hard for me. So Suze, I know I was surprised because I was like looking through your stuff. I didn't realize you were actually in fashion industry. I always thought you were in meditation, the retreat industry. It's so different for me between fashion to meditation. How that even, like, how you made that jump?
Well, they're two totally separate things. I started in fashion right after college, and actually during college. And I worked in the fashion industry for about 2.5 decades. So I worked at magazines like Vogue, Elle, Marie Claire. I was at Glamour for 14.5 years, doing the do's and don'ts section, covering fashion around the globe, going on television, representing the magazine. It was really a great job, and I was so grateful. I loved doing it. And one day I came to Los Angeles with Robin Roberts and the team from Good Morning America, because she was going on the Oscars and I was helping her get dressed for Good Morning America. So we were filming our, and I went to go visit a friend of mine who lived in Malibu, who had 3 kids running in the field. And I'm like, our 3 kids are running up and down the walls. Like, this is amazing.
So, and were you from New York at that point?
Did you move? New York City. I was in New York City.
Okay.
So I told my husband, we should move to LA as a joke. And out of the blue, out of nowhere, he got a job opportunity in Los Angeles 2 weeks after I said that. And the next thing you know, I'm leaving my career that I love, my family, and moving out to Los Angeles with our 3 kids, and just basically trying to get them into schools and get them going and that kind of thing. And it was just such a huge transition. And then I started working again 6 months in, and it was just really hard to travel when I didn't have the family or the backup here in Los Angeles. And on one of my trips, I was really stressed, and my mother-in-law said, "You really need to breathe." And I said, "What's that?" And she taught me how to meditate. What's that? I was so busy. And she taught me how to meditate, and the rest is history. I just fell in love with it from the moment I started, because I couldn't believe that you could control your emotions and change the way you feel, your inner state, in under 3 minutes. So when I came back to LA,
was she a meditation teacher? I mean,
she was a psychotherapist, and she used meditation for her clients when they were going through anxiety and depression and stress. And so I basically met with her. And then I started trying to learn how to do it when I was in Los Angeles, and it was really complicated at the time. It was long. The teachers were kind of boring. Or it felt very like religious, even though it wasn't. And I'm like, why can't there be a dry bar of meditation? Kind of like dry bar is a blowout bar in the United States, where you go in and you get a blowout, and 30 minutes later you walk out looking great and feeling great. And I wanted to do the same thing for meditation. So I had this fantasy of what it would look like, what it would be like. And I then became kind of obsessed with that thought and with that idea. So I started taking more classes and learning more. And next thing you know, I'm planning the studio and opening up the world's first drop-in meditation studio called Unplug.
And with that idea, where people were like, wow, how you come up with that idea? Because I don't, even as today, I don't think there is any other studio that's similar to your Unplug. And beside the studio you have, the app that you have is amazing because you know, especially during pandemic was very difficult for people go anywhere, right?
Mhm.
And even with now, I think it's really difficult for people try to one place to another, especially if you have little kids running around, like you or like
Well,
me.
now they're big.
Yeah, well, I have a 9-year-old who's act like he's 21, but you know,
Interesting.
I still having a hard time just going to places. So
Mhm.
one thing I like about Unplug was you also offer virtual classes.
Yes.
And it became part of my daily life where
Mhm.
every morning at 9:30 there is a virtual meditation. It could be a different thing. It could be
Mhm.
empowerment, clarity, or manifestation, you know, of visualization. So I thought that was really great. And so when you come up with the idea, were people surprised by it? Were they wow, how you, yeah.
It was interesting because I really wanted to get like the best teachers in the world. So I started reaching out to them and they were all like, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to be a part of it because it didn't exist before. So they were like, whatever you need, I'll help you make it happen. And there was one guy named Steve Ross, who was a really famous yogi here in Los Angeles. And he's like, you can use and he had his own yoga studio. He's like, you can use my front, my manager. Here's what I would do with this, with that. He was just so generous and
Wow.
so great and taught me a lot. And I was really lucky to have met him early on. And Lauren Ekstrom, who's this incredible yoga teacher, who was the second person that I hired, they were all really just giving of their time, of their energy. And then I just started hiring people that were great, that I was inspired of, and that I would want to meditate with. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted people that I respected, who were inspirational, who were cool, and I would actually want to hang out with them. So everyone I
Yeah.
hired were people that I just fell in love with, and we still kind of kept that in the studio.
And I also know that Unplug also train teacher to get certified. So if
Mm.
anybody wanted to be a meditation teacher, there is certification Unplug that can train them to be one. And then I thought that was also very it's great opportunity for people who really want to get into this area and don't know where to learn and where to
Mhm.
go.
Mhm.
So Unplug also offered that, which was amazing idea.
Well, we
And
created the
yeah,
app so that we can make it really simple for people and
yep.
demystify meditation so they could just
Thank
come
you.
on and have like 10 minutes or under to meditate and just be able to click a button and lay back down in their bed and meditate. So
Mhm.
the app is like an easier solution. The studio is where you get that one-on-one experience with the teacher. And so the way that it works is usually people start with the studio, then when they're traveling, they use the app, and then
Yep.
they get so into the app that they're like, I want to take it to the next level. I want to, get certified. And being certified doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a teacher. It means that you want to deepen your own meditation practice. You want to control your own emotions. You want to be able to share this practice that's helped you so much with other people. And that's really why people do the teacher training. And we've been lucky enough to have people from 19 different countries, more than 200 people get certified and who are actually doing something with it, which is so beautiful.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because that's exactly me. What I mean by that is I went to the studio, I fall in love with it. And
Mhm.
then I discovered Unplug app, which when I travel so much that it's something, it's on my phone. If I show you my phone, it would be Unplug on there. And I'm such a
I love
big
that.
fan of Unplug. So
Thank
in
you.
fact, because I was such a big fan of Unplug, when I find out our mutual friend know you, I was like, oh my God, I must meet her because she really changed my life.
Mm.
Especially when I travel so much, it was a way for me to calm myself and
Mm.
going to sleep. And now I'm in the point where I wanted to get deeper into that. And then I saw the certification, but
Mhm.
I don't know if I can be a teacher at this point, you know?
Well,
So,
that's the thing is
yeah.
most people start and they're like, who am I to teach meditation? To be
Yeah.
honest, like, who am I to teach meditation? I'm just like you know, I started as an editor. I don't know what you do when you're
I'm a
not
law.
doing.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer. You know,
We have had a lot of lawyers, by the way, do this program.
I
Um,
can see why, because it's
yeah,
stressful. This is
I
fun.
I
Yeah.
know. And so, you know, who am I to teach meditation? Who am I to like be this? But the truth is after doing this program, I know, and so do the teachers who do it, that
Mhm.
they know 98% more than most of the meditation teachers out there. And because it's not just a program about learning, you actually learn, then you teach it, then you learn, then you teach it. So by the time that you graduate, and it's 6 weeks altogether, like
Okay.
it's like a 2-year program in a 6-week period.
Wow.
By the
Mhm.
time that you graduate, you feel so confident that you can teach absolutely anyone how to meditate because you've done it 14 times. You've done it one-on-one, you've done it with a group. You're teaching every day.
Oh, wow.
Teaching every day of that last week where you end up like meeting incredible people who will become your new best friends. They're all into the
Mhm.
same thing you are. And then you just really grow. It's so amazing. I love it.
How was it the first time when your mother-in-law, like, you need to breathe, you need to do a meditation? Did you ever did a meditation before that? Or that was like the
I
first?
don't know. I didn't. I actually did not.
It's so amazing how you never exposed to that. And that one day, your mother-in-law telling you to do a 3-minute meditation to what you built today.
Mhm.
Like how was the progress is like? I mean, how you meditate? Because I'd be honest with you, I was having a fear of meditation when people say meditation,
Right.
because not because I think it's boring, is because I don't know if I can sit there that long
Yes.
without having my mind go crazy like a monkey
Mm.
mind. I
Mm.
would be thinking checklists.
Right.
So, and then you're from New York, you were busy, you had
Right.
3 kids. What is it that make you that work for you for meditation?
Well, as I mentioned to you before, I was doing a lot of television shows like Good Morning America, Today Show, where basically you would have to open up with what it's about, then you would have to support what you were talking about, and then you would have to end it all within a 3-minute period. So when I started taking all these different classes, I'm like, wait, this is so much easier than it's being presented. Like
Uh-huh.
people think meditation's difficult, but
Yeah.
when you understand what it is, you're like, actually, it's not that hard. One of the things that I like to tell people, and this is the biggest myth of meditation, is that people think they're bad meditators. They can't
Yes.
meditate because they have too many thoughts. They
Uh-huh.
think that thinking is a bad thing.
Me.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And the truth is we have 5,000 to 80,000 thoughts every single day. Thinking is actually a part of the meditation practice. So there's only 3 things that happen in every meditation. The first thing is we bring our awareness to our breath,
Mm.
slow down our breath. We send a signal to our brain, everything's okay. And then we let it go and we're just present and we're aware that we're present in the present moment. We hear the cars outside, we hear whatever, we're feeling the air on our body. And then all of a sudden we have a thought.
Mhm.
What am I doing for dinner? Did I
Yes.
send that email that I was supposed to send? All these things.
Yes.
And then we bring it back like a bicep curl to step 1. Awareness of the breath, let it go, mind wanders. Bring it back. Awareness of the breath, let it go, mind wanders. Bring it back. And the more you bring it back, the more you actually can change the physical structure of your brain. So they used to think that at the age of 25, your brain was fully developed and then it would just disintegrate from that point on. So
Yeah.
by the time that you hit 50, it got weak. And
Mhm.
your memory, executive decision making, focus, compassion, all weakened. And your
Mm.
stress and anxiety would go up. But what Sarah Lazar, who's a doctor who did a study with Harvard neuroscientist, she did a study with Harvard and MIT, and you can watch her TED Talk, by the way. You
I'm
can put
gonna
that
look it
in the
up.
show notes.
Yeah.
She did a study of 50-year-olds who had never meditated before. She measured their brains against the 25-year-olds, put them on an 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction program, And in 8 weeks, their brains were as sharp as the 25-year-olds. And she shows the
Wow.
before and after MRIs of the brain.
Mm.
So not only can we build muscle in our bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and that'll keep us healthy longer,
Yeah.
but we can build the muscle of our brain and
Mm.
keep us healthy longer as well. Because stress can kill you, and
Yes.
stress physically impacts. If you have an illness, it makes it worse. If you don't have an illness, it can actually give you one.
Yeah.
So we need to manage our stress and prioritize that. I want to just mention that bicep curl for the brain is
It
really
is.
something
Yeah.
that I actually got from this teacher named Light Watkins. I don't know if you know him.
Mm.
He's a phenomenal teacher, and he did this book called The Inner Gym. And
The
it's
inner
like,
gym.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I love that. I love that analogy, and I use it all the time, inspired by him, because you really are doing a bicep curl for your brain when you meditate. So if you look at it like that,
Mm-hmm.
it makes it more interesting. And one more thing I want to add, and that is that we are so busy right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? When we have 5 minutes to ourselves,
Yeah.
we're usually picking up our cell phones or going
Yes.
and watching the news right now,
Yeah.
and we're not giving ourselves the space that we need to have awareness of the thoughts that are actually in our head, which is
Mm-hmm.
another reason why meditation is so great, because you realize, what are the thoughts that are going on autopilot? What am I thinking about? And if you actually sat down in silence for 5 minutes and you took those 5 minutes to just write every thought that popped up in your head, you would
Oh my God.
realize that of
Yeah.
the probably 27 plus thoughts that you had, only one of them do you care about. So that means what's running on autopilot
Uh-huh.
is actually working against you and not for you.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Because since joining Unplug, I at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to try it because I wasn't sure I'm a good meditator, be honest with you. I was one of those many people that meditation is hard. I can't sit there. I have too many mind and checklists. I'm too busy. And once I went to Unplugged, I realized that it was like it's like taking a nap. It's like quick and easy, and I'm out. I feel much better. So now it's part of my daily schedule where my office know I'm in meditation. So don't bother me. Don't book any schedule between that. And then by doing that, you're right. It is like a muscle training because I'm feel more comfortable with it. The thoughts still coming in, but I'm glad that you explained that to me.
They're going
So
to come in
they're
forever.
coming. Okay.
Forever. You're never going to stop your thoughts. And some days it'll be busier in there than other days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. That's okay. The beauty is you're noticing your thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I thinking about? Why do I care about that? Like,
Mm-hmm.
imagine if we could notice our thoughts when they happen. Okay, someone says something to us that upsets us.
Yeah.
Okay, we've all been triggered by someone else.
Yes.
And usually when someone says something mean or horrible or triggering, we literally will kind of scorch the village. We'll take it out on everyone else around us, right?
Yes.
But if you're able to pause and breathe and notice, oh, that person just said something I found offensive. Do I really care? No. I'll just respond as opposed to react. So it gives you the ability to be more responsive and less reactive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm definitely gonna keep that. Thank you so much. So any project you wanted to expand it on Unplug? I love it. I love the app because when did the app came out?
The app actually, a lot of things came out in 2017. So in 2017, we did the Unplug book, did the Unplug meditation app, and we did
Okay.
the Unplug teacher training program.
I like the teacher program, the training program.
And we did the Unplug corporate program. So that was a busy year, actually, now that I think about it. So all of those things came out, and now we're just building on all those things because that's a lot. It's a lot to manage. So we have to really
and you have great product. I mean, the scent oil, because when I went to studio, you can try it, a different
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
So I really love that. And
Thank you.
literally when I'm there, I'm just trying on every oil, so
I
just
love it
to,
too. I love it too. And there's all the different ones too, so you can try that.
exactly.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And that is, okay, so you've been meditating now for how long with Unplug? Like how
So this was going to tell audience. So what I did was I wasn't sure if I'm gonna like it. I'd be very honest because
uh-huh.
I thought I was not a good meditator. So Unplug offers this really great deal. Is I think it's $49 for a month,
Hmm.
and you can take unlimited classes. So I thought that was perfect for me because I really just wanted to experience what doesn't work, and Unplug offer not just meditation and sound bath, which I love, and
Hmm.
breath work, which I know a lot of people are into breath work to release your stress. So, I don't know, being, I want to really not waste my money and time, because I just let the audio know, for me to go to Unplug, it is without traffic, it's 39 minutes because I'm coming from Pasadena going
Wow.
to
It's
West LA.
unbelievable.
And I've been doing that almost every day with
Wow.
that month because I really want to understand if I would love the program, if I would love Unplug, and to really get to know if I can meditate, right? About myself.
Hmm.
So I did the $49 one month. And then after $49, the staff Unplug are super sweet. Claire is really nice. When I send an email, she'll always respond right away. She know my name. And she was like, well, what do you think? No pressure at all. And yeah. And then I said, I want to join like whatever that is unlimited class. So that's what I have. So I can take class whenever I want to, if I'm interested.
Hmm.
And then I even brought my friend to come with me because I really feel like this is something I wanted to share with people who are close to me.
Hmm.
And what we do on Friday night, because you gotta have like special events.
Yes.
Um, so even on Friday night, I would say, let's meet and unplug. And then once
Hmm.
we're done with this one, we can go eat and then we can have dinner.
Right.
So like a few weeks ago, the first time I did ecstatic dance,
Yes.
and I didn't know what that was, be honest with
Yes.
you. I was
Did you
like,
like it?
it was cool. It was really nice. I was like, I figure it's like a Friday night. It's almost I was thinking, be honest with you, I thought it was like a party.
Right.
But I don't want to go party. And then I was like, well, I don't think Unplugged gonna have a party. So I just went, great music. I think the teacher was named
Grace.
Grace.
Grace
Yes.
Whitlock. Yeah,
And
she's
she's
amazing.
wonderful. And it's a way of self-expression. It's a good exercise. I feel I'm tapped into my feminine energy. And then afterward, me and my friend, we went to have quick bite dinner. It was such a
Great.
great Friday night.
Yes.
So I really like that. I think what
That's
I
so
love about Unplug, beside meditation, that's what I came in for at first, because the unlimited class I can take exposed to me to different things. So now
mhm.
I open my idea to what else I like. Ecstatic dance would be one.
Right.
Sound bath would be great.
Mhm.
And then the workshop, I'm thinking about
Yeah, we
taking
do
my mom for
workshops
the
all the
workshop.
time just to kind of like keep it fresh and keep it different. But you're going to notice when you start meditating, like when I first started at Unplug,
Mm-hmm.
we're on Wilshire Boulevard. So there's
Yeah.
traffic on the street.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes you'll hear a siren and sometimes, and you'll be like annoyed that you're
Uh-huh.
hearing this like traffic outside.
Yeah.
And at first I was like trying to run out and stop the traffic. If I heard someone talking, I would like walk out of the class and I would like be like, stop talking in front of the studio. And then I, as I grew with the practice, I stopped hearing it. It stopped mattering to me. I started like
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And now I honestly get so deep, I don't even hear it anymore. And that's what's so incredible is like with this meditation practice, I mean, and I started in 2012. I opened Unplug in 2014.
Yeah.
But I have been growing and growing and growing with it every single year. Like I'm very different now than I was when I started. And it only gets better and better and better. And what I noticed too is like things can trigger other people, or people get upset about a lot of silly things, I think, in my opinion. I
Mhm.
was one of those people who used
Mm.
to be like that. And now I'm much more mentally resilient. I'm able to stay calm when I shouldn't be calm, actually. But because I'm calm, it makes everyone else around me calm.
Mhm.
I know the power of being able to control my own emotions in my relationship with my children, in the relationship with my husband, in the relationship with my coworkers. And
Mhm.
it's just the most amazing thing. And to also be able to have a friend be like, I am so anxious. And they're like, you know, what can I do? And I can be like, oh, just do the 16-second breath. And they're like, wow, I feel so much better. Having that ability to be able to help others with just a simple tool that they can use for the rest of their life that they just didn't know before has
Yeah.
been like, just, it makes you feel so good. Like helping yourself feel so good, but helping other people feels even better, to be honest.
It's maybe that because it's helping other people, maybe that's the reason. Like everybody there are super nice.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
you going in there, like it doesn't matter the staff, the teacher, or even another person which is going there, like myself. Like
mhm,
everybody's so respectful of each other. Everybody's super nice, and you're right because when you go in, they would say take your phone away,
mhm,
like. And then I think, like you said, a lot of time people wasting time to wake up in the morning or they're doing stuff, right?
right.
Instead, like really being present and doing that meditation thing. I think when they take your phone, I actually wasn't panicking. I was
Yeah.
actually happy. Now when I walk in, I'm rushing because I have to drive all the way to Pasadena to
Wow.
unplug.
That's a trip.
But that's how much I love Unplug.
Mm,
I when I walking in, literally, I was like, "Here's my phone. Take my phone." I'm like, I
mm.
wanted to take my phone.
Yes.
Yes,
Do you
yes, I
know
wasn't
that
bothered
I
by
think
it.
that's like the best part about it, right? Is like
Yeah.
just letting go of your phone
Mm-hmm.
and walking into that room
Mm-hmm.
and just being with yourself for 45 minutes. You have no idea what a gift you're giving to yourself
Mm-hmm.
just by the separation, and sometimes that's what it takes to really let go and really unplug
Yeah,
is
no, but
just,
people get offended sometimes. Anywhere else, if you said no cell phone allowed, they were like, no cell phone allowed. And you can see their faces making like those, unhappy expression. And they're like, oh, do I have to, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm waiting for a business call. But on Unplug, if it's like, it's a straight out policy, no cell phone, because you
Mhm.
don't want to interrupt somebody else's experience.
Yes.
And this is a place where I am so happy to give my phone to, and there was no hesitation. And we're like, I wonder who called me. I wonder, my phone's out there. Maybe I'm missing a text or something. I literally walking in, so happy, and I give the phone to them. I'm like, here's my phone, take it.
Mhm.
And
Well, you're
and
giving permission to yourself
yeah,
to unplug.
it was perfect name. How you come up with the name Unplugged, by the way?
Actually, I had this download where I thought it should be called Go Om.
Go, okay,
When I
that's cute
first
too. Uh-huh.
opened it, I was like, Go Om. I literally heard that in my head. And then I was sitting and talking to a girlfriend because my husband's like, you have to have a business plan if you're going to launch this thing. And I'm like, who do I know who knows how to do a business plan? So I called my girlfriend, Jen Schiff, and I'm like, can you help me write a business plan? I wanted to open this thing. Would love you to help me with it. So she and I sat down, we did
Mm-hmm.
this business plan together. And basically, I was like, she's like, I don't like the name Go Om. It sounds too woo woo. And I was like,
Okay, if
okay.
you're not
So
meditator, yes,
yeah.
I can see
So we
that.
went
Mhm.
back and forth and I was like, reset, recharge, reboot, recalibrate, blah, blah, blah. She's like, unplug. And I was like, unplug.
Plug.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, I could get the trademark for that. I'll take it. I couldn't get unplug.com. So I did unplugmeditation.com at first.
Yeah,
But then we ultimately bought unplug.com. So
perfect.
yeah, that's
Oh
how it
wow, that's beautiful. That's
goes.
that's really cool how like you and your girlfriend were talking about it and then it come.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
And
love
this
it.
is another funny thing that you're going to love It was called, we called it Unplug Meditation at first. So I decided to use legal Zoom because I'm doing this whole thing on a
Uh-huh.
dime to open up this thing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm waiting, like, I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was like 6 weeks or 6 months to get my trademark.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back, Unplug Mediation.
What? Really?
They changed the spelling from meditation to
To
mediation.
mediation. Oh.
And I was like, and then I had to just redo the whole thing, but fortunately I got it.
Well, it's a perfect name. And it was interesting because when you sit down in the studio and there's a big sign in the back, and you always have posting on the wall, and then each one of them was so meaningful. And then when I think about my work, because most of the time I leave from my meeting and get to unplug,
Mhm.
I was like, unplug, unplug. I had to tell myself, hello, unplug. Stop thinking about the meeting. You can deal with this after 45 minutes. And short, it's 45 minutes. So I was like, can I just focus on myself for 45 minutes? And then
Mhm.
it actually is such a treat because once you finish that, you actually can serve other people and be better. So
Mhm.
yeah, and that's I staring at that unplug all the time when I was there.
I love
So
that.
I love the name. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I always ask all my guests one last question before they finish their podcast is what advice they would give to the younger self if somebody saying they want to start a business. um, I mean, I know how you started a business, how you started this was like it's such a great story, but obviously this was not something you thought you were going to do because it wasn't in your industry, right?
Mhm.
Because you were doing another industry for a decade
Yeah.
and suddenly you come up with that. Were you not scared? Were you have any fear to switch something
Mm.
for something so different from what you were doing?
No, I wasn't afraid, but I would tell my younger self or a younger person, if you have an idea and it's something that you really can't stop thinking about,
Mm.
then you have to do it. And someone once told me this and it just stuck with me. And it's better to say, oh, well, and have it not work out than what if? What if I
Mm.
had done that idea that I wanted to? So, not all businesses work, but that's not what's important because the best part about starting a business is
Mhm.
actually going from zero to getting it done. Like
Yeah.
if you understood that part, like just having it be not just an idea and then having it actually happen is the best part. And the other best part is when you learn as you go. Like I didn't know anything about point of sale. I didn't know anything about P&L, profit and loss statements. I didn't know anything about you know, click button or any of those CTRs or any of that stuff.
Yeah, even
I
business
had to
plan.
learn
Yeah.
what?
Even
I had to
business
learn all
plan.
that
Yeah.
stuff, you know? So a CTA, you know, call to action, which is the
Mhm.
button that you press every time you buy something. So these are things you learn as you go and you get smarter and smarter. And then you think, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Who am I to open up a business? I don't know anything about business. But you can learn as you go. And I did on YouTube. So
Oh,
anytime I had a
wow.
question about anything, I would go to YouTube and I would
Okay.
search it. And then I would find these amazing human beings. Like there's this one guy named Stephen P. Young, who's calls himself the app master. When I was launching the Unplug app, I knew nothing about apps. And I was like, there's got to be like a tech group of people that I could like meet and be part of that group. And I started watching his YouTube videos and then I reached out to him and he responded to me. He was
Oh,
having a workshop
wow.
in LA and I joined his workshop and it was one of the greatest things that I did. So you can make connections for yourself. You can learn as you go, and that's the funnest part. So even if you have zero money, you can barter what you do know for what you need to know. So like I was really good at making over people's closets and doing styling makeovers and helping people learn how to be on television. And I would trade that for legal advice, graphic design, and all these different things. So now with, Chat GPT and
Yes.
Canva, you don't even
Uh,
need that. Like it's so
yeah.
much easier. So that's what I would say.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That is a really great advice. And have no fear and to just always remember that it's better to be, oh, well, that didn't work out than what if.
Yes.
And then, yeah, and then I can all the stuff you have to learn on your own as you were trying to open Unplug.
Hmm.
Wow.
And no
Okay.
one's going to care more than you do.
Yeah.
And there is no you. So even if you think other people, they're not you.
Yeah.
So, people were copying Unplug like crazy. And I was so upset in the beginning. And then someone said to me, you know what? They're just not you. And why did I open up Unplug? To hoard meditation? No. I opened it to share meditation.
Yeah.
But it took me becoming a meditator to actually understand that. So at first I was very like, and then you
Yeah.
realize there's only one you.
And everybody's different. So whatever you bring to the table is going to be different from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm signing up for the certification because now,
Wow.
yeah,
It's starting,
Sue.
yes, on the 20th. I would love, did you sign up already?
No, because I was thinking, who am I? I can't be a teacher because I wasn't thinking about being a teacher. Do you know
You
what I
don't
mean?
need to be.
Yeah, so that's when you said that. I was like, oh, that answered my question because I wanted to learn more about it, but then the back of my head was like, well, you're not a teacher, or
Mm.
you have time to be a teacher. So I like you say that by taking that doesn't mean you have to be a teacher. It just
No, not at
actually
all.
help you to understand more and learn more. And teaching, explain to people is a way for you to learn
Mhm.
more, right?
Yes,
So
you're gonna love
okay.
it. It's so much fun.
Okay, well, I'm signing up for that. So it's 6 weeks,
Okay.
it's quick. And so it's a 2-year program make into 6 week. Okay.
It's just, yeah. So for people who are from New York, it's like very succinct to the point, and it's fun, it's interesting. You're going to meet amazing human beings, and you're going to have the confidence to teach anyone how to meditate. And it would be so cool for you to take this soundbite that we're doing right now, and after the 6 weeks, go back to it and see if that's true,
Oh, wow. Okay.
because it will be.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you. Thank you to be on my podcast. I know you're
Thank you.
busy, you have planned back and forth, but I'm so glad and thank you for coming on our podcast.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And I look forward to spending more time with you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Bye.